got a population of just under 2,000 members residing in the community. We're a Cree-speaking community, part of what we call Treaty 5. And I think the reason why you see a lot of development happening in the community is long-term planning. We have a 20-year plan, which we've had now for about 6 years. Related to the planning is the economic development strategy also for the community. And basically the focus was to develop local businesses to capture the resources locally. That's why today you see a lot of business development happening in the community. The end goal is to create an economy for our community, and related to that would be the partnerships that would generate resources for the community.
ATCO has a long history with First Nations, with Indigenous people in the North, and we believe that our ability to build remotely, and that's what ATCO brand was really built on, can be brought to improve their communities, make them more sustainable, build schools, build band offices, build recreational facilities, housing, whatever the nation needs.
How it all came about with ATCO was we looked for a company that could provide us a good product in terms of our motel development here for the community. So I had an opportunity to meet ATCO representatives, and they just seemed like the right fit for our community.
We discussed our philosophies, and we found that we have a lot in common of what we want to accomplish. And from this engagement, we came to know Chief Crate and his council, and Chief Crate also understands what ATCO has in terms of our business acumen, in terms of our technology, our ability to execute, and our genuine interest and desire to work with the First Nations.
We've always looked at the bigger picture also here in Manitoba, what we can do to build not only our economy, but how can we support other First Nation communities. And when we got into discussion with ATCO on the development of a potential plant that would build modular units for other communities, we both came together and had a good discussion and realized that we had a lot of similar goals.
The Fisher River relationship and ourselves at ATCO Sustainable Communities is something that we are very, very excited about. What Chief Crate is proposing, it is totally thinking outside the box, totally what we call in today's world a game changer. It's innovative, it's impressive, but most important, it's about doing the right thing for First Nations.
It is going to produce at least a minimum of 144 units annually at a rate of 12 units per month. The projected goal is to employ approximately 40 persons per shift. So with that, we require skilled training, skilled labor, and the key component is the National Center of Excellence.
Center of Excellence can become a center for Indigenous house design. It can train people how to maintain and operate homes. It can deliver better homes, more appropriate for the nations, and build capacity through training programs and hands-on participation of the nations in the factory.
I think the main thing with design of housing for the communities, flexibility in terms of meeting the needs of those communities. You know, some may want a larger kitchen area, dining area, for the families to come together and have a meal, and then some other communities may want more bedrooms. So it varies from community to community.
The housing needs to be better designed. It needs to be designed with the First Nations input. It needs to be better built. It needs to be sustainable. It needs to be friendly to maintain. It cannot be just a lakeside cottage shipped to a First Nation in a remote location and hope that it will survive.
You will have people working hands-on in a technical perspective in the factory, while you'll have housing managers, band managers, public work managers in a classroom setting, learning how to establish a more effective housing management regime.
It's not just housing that we are trying to accomplish. Our end goal is to provide that training, that education, and that certification, and to meet those requirements for a global workforce.
It's going to be an economic generator for employment opportunities for people in the region. It'll also create other economic opportunities in terms of supply for the plant. And then with the Center of Excellence for Housing, it's going to build capacity for the First Nation communities. And I think that's one of the things that's been lacking in terms of long-term sustainable housing for First Nations.
I believe that that Center of Excellence with the design input, with the product input, with technology input, with the pride of ownership that people will put into it, can really move that benchmark a lot higher without really trying very, very hard. Industry need to support it. We're willing to do our part. Government need to support it. And I think the Fisher River is a perfect platform to execute that paradigm change.
Fisher River will be the central point where everybody will be encouraged to come, receive information, and raise the bar on continuing to improve the housing situations for all First Nations right across this country.
For me personally, it means that we're going to have something for our youth in the future, that it'll create a good base of opportunity for our young people, as they come through our school system. Some people may not want to go on to post-secondary, but they may be interested in the area of trades, and they'll know that they'll have an opportunity to join the workforce here in the community. And I think the overall thing too, it'll create a real sense of pride for our people here in the community.